Okay, if you're in the accounting world, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say busy season. It's that annual chaos, right? But what if we could totally transform it? What if it wasn't a test of sheer endurance, but actually a showcase of your firm's efficiency? Well, we're going to break down a new model that promises to do just that. Let's get into it. Now, that is a bold statement, isn't it? But it gets right to the heart of the matter. For so many CPA firms, busy season is just damage control. This isn't about just surviving anymore. It's about figuring out how to actually thrive when the pressure is on. So, first things first, let's talk about the trap itself. Why does this pressure seem to get worse every single year? And more importantly, why is the old strategy of just working harder totally and completely broken? You know the drill, right? It's that familiar hamster wheel. The calendars are slammed, the inbox is a nightmare, and suddenly the goal isn't about doing great work anymore. It's just about getting through it. It's this reactive survival mode that just leaves everyone completely drained. And look, this isn't just in your head. The pressure is getting objectively worse. You've got more frequent reporting cycles, clients who expect everything yesterday, and compliance rules that just keep getting more complex. And you mix all that with the staffing shortages we're all dealing with, there's literally no time to catch your breath. It is a perfect storm. So that leads to the big question. Is this really just a workload problem? I mean, is the answer just to hire more people or pull more all-nighters? Is it simply about having too much on your plate? The answer is a hard no. This is not about how hard your team works. This is a fundamental flaw in the system itself. It is a capacity design problem. The way most firms are structured just wasn't built for the kind of pressure we're seeing today. All right, so if the old model is busted, what's the fix? Well, it's all about building a smarter delivery system, one that gets you ready for the storm before it even hits. And the core idea here is what's called strategic India outsourcing. Now, this is not about calling for backup when you're already drowning. No, this is a proactive model. It's about strategically shifting all of that structured, time-consuming grunt work offshore to create breathing room for your team before the chaos even starts. So what kind of work are we talking about here? Well, think about all that foundational, repeatable stuff. The bookkeeping, the monthly and quarterly closes, all the cleanup and catch-up work, the reconciliations, you know the drill. By getting this stuff off your team's plate throughout the year, you stop that massive backlog from ever building up in the first place. And this is where the magic happens. Your team gets to walk into busy season feeling fresh. Instead of spending weeks just digging out from a mountain of prep work, they can jump right into the high-value stuff, reviewing for accuracy, thinking strategically, and actually talking to your clients. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But how does this actually work in the real world? Let's dig into the practical side of things and see what makes this kind of partnership really seamless. So why India specifically? Well, it really boils down to 4 huge advantages. First, you've got this incredible pool of talent that's already trained in US accounting standards. Second, there's a real culture of process discipline, which is just crucial for accuracy. Third, the time zone difference is a game changer. Work literally gets done while you sleep. And finally, you get this amazing flexibility to scale your team up or down whenever you need to. Now, this brings up a huge question, probably the biggest one on your mind. What about the clients? Nobody wants to create a confusing or clunky experience for them. And the answer to that concern is what's called a white label solution. And this table just lays it out perfectly. You see, without a white label setup, things can get messy and risky. But with one, your offshore team is basically an invisible extension of your own team. They work completely behind the scenes, so your firm is always the one and only point of contact for the client. It keeps the relationship simple and totally under your control. So from your client's point of view, what do they see? It's simple. They just see a firm that's incredibly responsive and organized, even during the craziest time of the year. All they know is that you're on top of your game. Of course, choosing the right partner is absolutely critical here. This is not about finding the cheapest option. It's about finding a partner who can be a true stabilizer for your firm. That means you need to look for things like dedicated teams who really get to know your business, rock-solid security, customized workflows, not a one-size-fits-all approach, and of course, multiple layers of quality review. But you know, this whole thing goes way beyond just efficiency or the bottom line. Let's talk about the impact this has on your most valuable asset of all, your people. Just think about what happens when your team can actually breathe. Your staff feels less overwhelmed,
Your seniors get to focus on being strategic reviewers, not just glorified preparers. Because no one's rushing, errors go down. Burnout drops like a rock. And over time, your best people actually stick around.
And let's be real, the burnout problem in this profession it's massive. When you see a number like this, it represents a real industry-wide crisis. It's that silent killer of firm culture, and ultimately, it's what destroys your capacity. This is how you break that cycle. A strategic approach to capacity, to your systems, directly tackles this problem head-on. It changes the game from one of simple survival to one of long-term sustainability for your people. And that brings us to the most important mindset shift of all, the big takeaway here. Busy season should never be a test of your team's physical and mental endurance. It should be a test of your firm's systems. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What could your firm really achieve if your very best people were freed up to focus on what truly matters, even when things are at their absolute craziest? What new opportunities could you chase? How much stronger could your client relationships get? That, right there, is the real potential of reclaiming your capacity.